In Betrayal Unveiled, the precarious house of cards collapses when Jack confesses his affair to Lily. The chapter captures the heart-wrenching moment of Lily's discovery and Eva's confession, painting a vivid picture of the emotional turmoil and betrayal. The cliffhanger hints at an unexpected turn in Lily's relationship with Eva, stirring curiosity about the future of these entangled lives.
Chapter 3. I confessed to my wife that I was sleeping with her best friend. You know, they say confession is good for the soul, but as I sat there looking into Lily's eyes, about to shatter her world, I wasn't so sure. I'd carried the weight of my betrayal for weeks, each day a bit heavier than the last. The lies had piled up, a tangled web I couldn't escape. And then Lily found that piece of jewelry Eva had left in our bedroom. That was it, the moment of truth. Lily looked at me, her eyes a mix of confusion and hurt. "Jack, what is this? Why do you have this?" She held up the piece of jewelry, her hand trembling. My heart was racing, my mouth dry. I knew I had to tell her. I owed her that much at least. "Lily," I began, my voice barely a whisper. "I need to tell you something. It's about me and Eva." The room was silent, the kind of silence that screams. I told her everything, about the text, the meetings, that night in the hotel. I didn't spare any details. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion, unable to look away. Lily sat there, her face going through 100 emotions at once. Betrayal, pain, disbelief. I'd never seen her like that. It broke my heart, knowing I was the cause of it. She didn't yell or cry. She just sat there staring at me, her whole world crumbling around her. "Jack, how could you?" Her voice was so quiet, so full of pain. "How could you do this to me? With Eva?" I had no answer. What could I say? That I was lonely, that it was a mistake? None of it mattered. I'd broken her trust, her heart. Lily got up and walked out of the room. I didn't stop her. What right did I have? I sat there, alone, the weight of what I'd done crushing me. The next few days were a blur. Lily moved into the spare room. We barely spoke, just passing each other like ghosts in our own home. I wanted to reach out to her, to try and fix things, but I didn't know how. I'd broken something, and I wasn't sure it could be mended. And then one evening Lily came to me. Her eyes were red, but there was a determination in them I hadn't seen before. "Jack, I spoke to Eva," she said, her voice steady. My heart sank. I'd been dreading this moment. "And?" I managed to say, bracing myself for the worst. "She told me everything," Lily said. "She told me how it started, what happened between you two. She's sorry, Jack. She's so sorry." I didn't know what to say. Sorry, was that supposed to make everything better? But then Lily said something I didn't expect. "She's been a friend for so long, Jack. I can't just hate her. I'm trying to understand, to make sense of it all." I looked at her, at the woman I'd married, the woman I'd hurt so deeply. She was trying to understand, to find a way through this mess I'd made. And that's when I realized the depth of her strength, her kindness, and how much I didn't deserve her. Over the next few days, we started talking, really talking for the first time in a long time, about us, about our marriage, where we'd gone wrong. It wasn't easy. There were tears, moments of anger, of raw pain. But we were communicating, and that felt like a step, however small. But then, one evening, Lily came home and told me she needed space, time to think, to heal. "I'm going to stay with Eva for a while," she said, her bags already packed. I couldn't believe it. She was turning to the woman I'd cheated on her with for comfort. It felt like a sick joke, but looking into her eyes, I saw her pain, her need to find some peace, however she could. So I let her go. What else could I do? I stood at the door, watching as the love of my life walked away, possibly for good. And there I was, alone in the house we'd built together, surrounded by memories of a life that might be lost forever. I thought confessing would bring some relief, but it only brought more pain, more confusion. I'd opened Pandora's box, and there was no closing it now. And the worst part, I still couldn't get Eva out of my mind.